Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So welcome to another market open stream. Today we have to talk about, of course, how Bitcoin is about to erupt. And you know what that means. Huge breakout is coming. So let's talk about that. Let's talk a little bit about BNB. A lot of people making moves with it. And also let's talk about Clash. All right, let's do it, guys. Welcome. We are starting out today slightly under 125. As you can see, we are itching closer and closer and higher. So it would not surprise me if we broke into a new all-time high today. Yesterday it was like 126 something. We're pretty close. We came back down a little bit, but it looks like Bitcoin wants to move, and overall, you'll see why there is a huge breakout coming. I'll show you. But today, let's see. We are starting out in green. Look at this. The price of gold reaches 4,000 an ounce. I didn't even pay attention to that. I thought we were still like 3,500. Gold is at 4,000. And Peter Schiff had something interesting to say yesterday. And this is because there's a flight to safety right now. And there's a debasement that's going on. So right now, the government is still shut down. Okay, it seems like the Senate, for a fifth time, did not pass a bill that would fund the government. And while this is going on, commodities like gold has been going up. And not just gold, but Bitcoin as well. Right? So it's all tied together. And there's something going on too with our dollar, which actually has been crashing. But you know what? Outside of this, you know, people are still waiting to hear from, you know, some of these economic data, these data points are supposed to come out, right? People are still waiting for it. And, you know, right now we have a lot of Fed presidents and governors that are talking, but these don't really, they don't really affect anything anymore because we already know that the rate cuts are already basically guaranteed. I think the only thing that people really care about from this week is Fed Chair Powell is going to be talking with Congress. That may be the only thing. But outside of that, like right now, it's actually like really calm. You know, normally you have all this economic data, all this macro stuff that drives things forwards or backwards, but no. So right now, people are just concentrating on the government shutdown and also this debasement that's happening, which is why gold has just skyrocketed to a new high. But according to this article, the dollar has been going down. In fact, it's on track to have the worst year since 1973. So there is just flight to safety that's definitely happening. And you know what? Yesterday, I saw Peter Schiff. I saw a tweet from him. We all know Peter Schiff is so negative toward Bitcoin. But yesterday, he was actually neutral. He said something along the lines of, I'm paraphrasing, that, hey, Bitcoiners should not trust the current rally right now because it's still kind of weak, okay? It needs to have a rally like gold's in order to be in a true bull rally mode. And then someone asked him, well, what does that mean? How high does Bitcoin need to go to equal gold's rally? And then he stated $148,000. Okay, fair point. Bitcoin hasn't gone up as much so far this year as gold, I think. But, you know, 148,000, that's nothing. You know, we could be there by the end of this week, right? But that was actually kind of like the first time I've seen Peter Schiff that's somewhat neutral and not saying, well, this rally is completely fake and Bitcoin will go back down to, you know, $80,000 or $50,000 because he usually like or says it's going to collapse to zero. He's usually really negative, and this is the first time he's actually turned somewhat neutral, which is kind of interesting. But 148,000, that's supposed to be the next stop. A lot of people have theorized that between 140 and 150 is the next stop for Bitcoin once we get that breakout, right? And it's not just all based on this, just like faith and just us talking about how Bitcoin can do it. What about the facts? Well, I mean, just look at this. The fact is, Wall Street can't get enough of Bitcoin. Yesterday kind of proves it. The day before proved it. Last week proved it. There is enormous amount of accumulation right now. Yesterday we had $1.2 billion, 970 million from BlackRock alone. That's facts, right? The accumulation is ongoing and it's extremely heavy right now. When you have over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin being bought per day and 2 billion, over 2 billion in the last 2 days, that's a lot. That's a lot of buying pressure, right? So all this is going to amount to something big. It always has and it always will because Bitcoin is scarce, even more scarce than gold. And when you have this much accumulation, you're going to have effects soon, right? So this is undoubtable. There are a lot of funds, like even retirement funds, pension funds, just hedge funds, and you got a lot of retail investors that are loading up on Bitcoin ETFs right now. And BlackRock itself is loading up. Even Ethereum, not nearly as heavy accumulation as Bitcoin, but still you got $177 million worth in one day. That's not bad. So this is still ongoing. And this doesn't count, okay? This doesn't count the buying of direct Bitcoin from the public trade companies, private companies, and everyone else, right? All right, moving on. Van Eyck also predicts that Bitcoin, following the footsteps of gold, will reach $644,000 by 2028. By then, I don't think Peter Schiff can say anything. I think by then, even Peter Schiff has to recognize that Bitcoin is just a better store of value, and more people are going to flock to Bitcoin than gold in the future. That's just the bottom line. We'll see if this is correct. A lot of people think that we'll probably be above $1 million by the next cycle. So we'll see. We'll see what happens in the next 3 months leading up to the Santa rally. All right. Now, what else is going on? You have another company in Amsterdam that just bought $35 million or raised and will buy $35.1 million of Bitcoin. So again, it's still happening around the world. Yesterday, I had a list up that showed like the top 100 holders of Bitcoin, and it amounted to over 1 million. 1 million. And that number keeps on growing in terms of the number of companies holding and the number of Bitcoin that they are holding. So, fantastic. Fantastic stuff. All right, what else? A few other things. Besides ETFs, which has been crazy, you have 60,000 Bitcoin bought by whales in a single week. So it seems like the whales know what's up. So when we dipped down to 109 for, a brief few days or so, seemed like the whales were accumulating. 60,000 Bitcoin being accumulated by whales in 1 week. That's no joke. Billions of Bitcoin being bought, right? So do they know something, or they're just preparing? Yeah, probably. Probably. Because they know we're not going to stay at 109 for too long. And look at where we are now, at 124, 125, right? All right. This shows that there is a squeeze, a major squeeze happening. And normally when you have a squeeze with Bollinger Bands, you have some kind of huge breakout, right? You could break out to the top or you could break out to the bottom. But right now, seeing that we're in October and everything seems to be favorable, I'm guessing we're going to break up to the upside, right? And that's how we're going to form that next top, heading to the 140s, 150s next, and then topping out to where we may end up the top of this cycle, and that could be $250,000. Tom Lee also says the same thing, but recently he's been making some crazy predictions about ETH. So gotta take it with a grain of salt. But there's many that think so as well. Michael Saylor thinks so. Even Tim Draper thinks so. Kathy Wood. I mean, everyone. Even Charles Hoskinson thinks that 200,000 is definitely doable by the end of this cycle. And who's to say that the cycle just ends? What if we just continue on? Right? Who's to say that December has to be the end of this cycle? What if we just continue into 2026? That's a real possibility too. All right. Moving on. What else? A lot of people talking about BNB. Secretly, it just flipped XRP. I don't know if you guys noticed that. I had no idea that it went up so much. So now it's sitting at number 3. So why is that? A lot of hype. A lot of hype around Aster. A lot of large whales definitely pumping it up, buying it up, right? Volume has exploded, but mostly it's due to this Aster hype. And there are a lot of people that are still rooting for it, but Aster seems to it has cooled off quite a lot. Now it's hovering around $2, but very volatile in the last few weeks. But a lot of people think that CZ has this mission to make Aster overtake and kill Hyperliquid. So we'll see. We'll see if that's the case, but good for them. What else? I saw this too. New York Stock Exchange buys a $2 billion stake in Polymarket. That's insane. That's insane. A lot of you guys know Polymarket is like the biggest, prediction market tool in crypto. It's probably the only thing that actually that's useful on Polygon at this point. But for the New York Stock Exchange to buy a $2 billion stake, that's unheard of. That's unheard of. So good for them. What else? Grayscale. Grayscale opens up these new. They're not ETFs. They're trusts. But I think Grayscale's trying to convert these into ETFs. But basically, you have these trusts that has staking built in for ETH and SOL. So whatever they get in their trust, they will use it to stake, and they will actually provide the dividends back, or the staking rewards back to people as dividends. So if these get approved for to become ETFs, and we actually get staking ETFs, that's going to make it even more enticing for the average Joe that can't do this or don't want to learn how to do this with crypto, but they could just hold on to an ETF that gives it to them. That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. And lastly, you have a NASDAQ listed company that grows their SOL treasury to 2.2 million. And that's about $4 billion. And then this is ahead of the ETFs, right? We are going to get a whole bunch of SOL ETFs. We're going to get a whole bunch of XRP ETFs. We may even get some BNB ETFs. I don't know if anyone filed for BNB ETFs. But you're going to get a whole bunch of ETFs coming. The news will be out. I don't know when, if it's going to be this week, next week, the week after that, but it's going to come out in this month that we're going to get 50 ETFs being approved, and then you're going to have a whole bunch of liquidity come in from Wall Street. So get ready for that. Get ready for that. All right. I think that's pretty much it. Let's look at our things. Are still things green? Wall Street is still green right now. AMD is still up from yesterday's OpenAI announcement. You got Hut 8 that's doing very well. Robinhood is slightly down. I don't know if Coinbase and MicroStrategy are doing well. Let's see. Coinbase is down slightly. And then you got MSTR, which has been really volatile, is down slightly today. So today's a mixed day. And Bitcoin came down a little bit, 123.6. Not bad. Not bad. And then, of course, you have my Clash. It's holding around 60 million. Holding around 60 million. We were a little bit higher yesterday. But you know what? Really can't complain about this project, how young it is, how far we have come. And you know, if you look at this, that's like a giant bull pennant that's actually being formed right now. If you look at it. And yesterday we got listed on CoinMarketCap too, and that was fantastic. But there's other things being worked on. Just got to be patient and wait for it. All right, let's do some Q&A first, and then, you know, I could do some giveaways. All right. All right, I just added BNB to my watch list here, and you can see it's like the only thing in the watch list that's up substantially, 6.5%. So BNB is on fire right now. Jado, thoughts on Grippy on base? It's ripping. Don't know. I don't follow base stuff. I'm assuming that's another meme. I can't really say, the one who cares, thank you. I can't really say whether another meme is good or not. And here's the reason why it's different with Clash. Because every other meme is just built on, okay, how high can it pump? That's really it. There's nothing else to it because none of them do anything. Yeah, of course, it's always about community building. You build a strong enough community, then they're going to hold and buy and just go lift up the coin. But none of them actually do anything. Where with Clash, we come together and game and have these tournaments, right? Where, yeah, not everyone's going to be gaming, but people that are in it, most people that are in it are. And even the ones that weren't gaming, now, you know, even in live chat, people are like, okay, now I'm starting to play. There's so many people that I actually brought on to actually start playing because they want to support it, and now they're getting addicted to it, and now they could do something in a tournament. And plus, we have these, you know, big prizes that we give out and giveaways, which you don't see anyone else do. All the other communities, what they do is, yeah, they support it, and then that's it. And then, you know, you don't know who the devs are. You don't know. They're all anonymous. You don't know if they're going to rug pull or pull the LP at any minute. And there's no utility, nothing whatsoever. So that's where Clash is different. Because, first of all, you guys know me. I'm not just going to rug. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't because the LP is locked. But you guys know me and my reputation. I'm not going to be doing anything to harm anyone. And we actually have something different. That's why I think Clash is so different than anything else. That's why I'm putting like all my efforts behind it right now. Heath asked the super chat above. SEC still open to approve ETFs even though the government shutdown. Yeah, I mean the government shutdown is not gonna be forever, but yeah. Paul Atkins is you know, a Trump appointee, and basically he's making things very, very, very friendly, crypto friendly. Like every regulation is like so friendly right now. Brennan, still waiting for last year's Santa rally. Well, you could keep on waiting then. I mean, here's something interesting since we got listed on CMC yesterday. If you go under new, Clash at the 14th. I don't know how they did this, if it's by market cap or what, because a lot of these don't even have a market cap, don't have anything. I mean, by volume, we're already one of the biggest. By market cap, we're one of the biggest. And even if you just look at, you just scroll down the list, right? You know, like a lot of people, I used to do this all the time. You go down and go down and go down, right? If you go down enough to like page 6, I think. Yeah. Page 6. Clash, even at where it is now, it wasn't up yesterday, but even at 60 million now, is already the 540th largest crypto project in this space. In all of crypto. Take a second to think about that. This is the 540th largest project out of millions. So, you know, I'm really proud of this. And, you know, we have a larger market cap than a lot of these as come out from years ago. Like, for example, Seller Network, which is a payment network, payment L1 network. I remember them. I remember StormX, which is a rewards platform. I remember Electronum. This was like back in 2018, like mobile mining. A lot of people really loved them. Rootstock, which is like a L2 for Bitcoin. What happened to Doge Elon Musk? People are like asking about Doge Elon Musk. Clash is already bigger than Doge Elon Musk, which, you know, not to shit on them, but like that's like the worst name ever created. You know, it's amazing. It's amazing to see how far we have come, right? I remember Den too. Den is a mobile play, which no one talks about anymore. BNB finally taking a little breather here. Musafa, thanks for all you do. Is it safer to hold my Bitcoin, my Fidelity, or cold wallet? I'm afraid to hold large amounts of cold wallet. I mean, you know, the ethos of Bitcoin is self-custody, or just crypto in general, right? But I think Fidelity is big enough where you can rely on them, that they're not going to go under and take all your Bitcoin. But nevertheless, you should learn how to store things in your cold wallet, right? So I don't know how much Bitcoin you have, but even transferring a little bit to a cold wallet, just so that you could build a comfort level, so you know how to use it. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Right? You don't have to transfer all of it, just a small, tiny amount, and it gets you, you know, it gets you motivated to learn more too. Fat Colonel, can I store Clash on your Ledger Live? You should be able to. I don't know if the symbols go come up, but you should be able to, because Ledger Live stores Solana-based tokens. At least it stores Sol. But, you know, I'm in touch with the Ledger guys. We're going to form a partnership. And one of the things I'm working on is to see if we could do a big collab around Clash. So that's something I'm working on. Did you know there's no Luke or Zion cards in the new Topps Chrome? Oh, I did not know that. They must have signed a deal with someone else. But yeah, Topps Chrome coming back. A lot of people are very excited about that because Fanatics owns Topps, and Fanatics has a new license. They could probably have Luka and Zion back. It's just they can't show their official NBA logo. That's how Topps was doing it before. Tangem. I'm partnering with Tangem too. I could ask them. And also Treasure. I could ask all the major wallet companies and see if they want to do something. But sometimes they're very hard to reach for some reason. They're all like overseas, so but I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Wilfredo, it's all the description in the description. If you wanted to use sexes, you can, like Mexi or L Bank or WeX, but the preferable choice is to do it on Phantom Wallet. You just swap your soul for it. Lazaro, we should appear in Phantom Wallet app trending. You know what? Yesterday, they actually came out with a tweet that said Clash was the best performing from the last week, but yet we're still not trending in their wallet app, which is really strange. I don't know why, because they already recognized it. Yeah, I mean, CZ is like shilling BNB hard. I guess this is baby, so of course he's going to be doing it like I'm shilling Clash. But that's a big reason. So like if you look at this came out yesterday. So Phantom even recognized that Clash was #1 in terms of top tokens swapped. Yet if you go in their app and you look at the top trending coins in their wallet, it doesn't show Clash as a trending, even though we are. They even recognize in their social, which is weird. Anyways, eventually it will. Maybe it's just too new. Just like CMC, we got listed on CMC yesterday. I didn't know this, but most people have to pay to be listed on CMC. At least they pay like to get accelerated listing, right? That's why it's, you know, some people find it very annoying because they can't get it listed. And you know, we got listed within a week of trying, a week and a half. So I saw someone pointed this out too. You know how like usually I go to CoinGlass and show liquidation data? You can actually find liquidation data of Clash on MEXC. It's actually listed, which is really funny. I don't recommend doing leverage on Clash. It's way too volatile for it, but there are people that have 5x, 10x, 15x, and 20x on here. That's kind of crazy. All right, looking at Bitcoin's liquidation levels, looks like we liquidated some on the downside, but the upside is here, 125.7. Remember, the market makers are really good at driving prices towards liquidation levels. Okay, so that's the next stop to get past 125.7. We were already a little bit higher yesterday, obviously 126 something, but I think we have a really good shot of going back there and liquidating a whole bunch of shorts. Why would anyone buy gold when you could buy Bitcoin? Well, I mean, you got to hand it to gold guys. They're doing well right now. Gold at 4,000? That was unheard of ever. Felix Finn, Cardano is slowly killing me. Cardano is kind of like that, you know. Sometimes it just goes through these like periods where it just does not move. You know, earlier this year it went above $1, which is great, but now it's just kind of like holding. Hyperliquid is right under it, but there's still a big gap. Between 10 and 11 is a big gap. It's still top 10 though. Still top 10. This is not a Red Bull. This is a high brew coffee from Costco. Yes to crypto, big super chat. Want to get your take on tokens that buy floor NFTs, then sell for profit and buy and burn itself. Sure, it's a big risk though, right? What if they buy the NFT and they can't resell it? Then now they just have to hold it. That's a big risk. And this whole burning aspect, right? Buying and burning and publicly declaring it, that basically makes it so that you don't pass the Howey test. So you have to be like overseas. If you're in the US, I still think that is kind of iffy. Even though Paul Atkins and SEC right now seems like they're not going after anyone. It's open season, but still they may come down eventually. So you still got to be careful about that. I remember back in the day, there was a project called, it was the one that Data Dash was caught promoting for. I forgot their name. But anyways, there was this project. And the founder came out and said, you know, oh, we're low on treasury funds. So I started trading the treasury funds and we're going to see if we can make some money with it. When I heard that, I'm like, are you being serious? As soon as I heard that, I knew that company was going to go under. I couldn't believe he actually was publicly telling his audience that he was trading the treasury funds. Like, as soon as you hear that, it's over with. It's over with. But it's kind of like that. That's why I bring this up, because buying and trading NFTs, it's kind of like that. You're basically messing with the treasury. Baza says, I don't think George's original weekly investments worked, did they? Yes. Why are you like trying to FUD things? You know it's right on my webpage. Okay, Baza. You just have to go to dashboard. And this is my DCA portfolio. That is up 120%. This is the one that I've been averaging every week. So you tell me if it's been working. You could check it every single day. I haven't been adding to it for last few weeks. So tomorrow on Wednesday, I'll probably add to it. I'll probably add Clash to it if I'm being honest. Honest question. I already bought some Clash. Was thinking about throwing a few hundred in. Do you have more faith in Clash or Solana? Are you saying Solana? I have a lot more faith in Clash at this point because I'm the one driving the bus right now. Kalana says, could you analyze VeChain, please? I'm Neutron VeChain. They're still pushing their better thing really hard, and that seems like that's their only mission now, to just push better and being green and cleaning up the earth, which is a great noble cause, but not really when it comes to like growing a chain. See, Baza? Just because you've been away or you haven't been watching for a while, you don't just throw wild accusations like, oh, it didn't work or it's failed or something. You're just causing FUD for no reason. It's your fault for not paying attention. So, like, again, just cool it. What if Jim Cramer's spike line? I don't know if that's a good thing because inverse Kramer is always right. Yeah, today's looking like it's not going to be a good crypto day. Strategy is down. Coinbase down. Only thing up is HUT. There's something going on with HUT 8 that's making it go up. AMD is up still. I think AMD is a buy. I didn't buy anything yesterday because I wanted to see if it comes down because yesterday was up like 30%. AMD is now a must buy, in my opinion, because of this OpenAI relationship. But it seems like today may not be a green day except BNB. And maybe except with Clash if it flips around. And you could chart Clash now. I was charting this yesterday. We kind of broke out of this wedge. I'll have to redo the wedge. Waiting for a breakout to happen. But, you know, you can't really chart something like Clash, if I'm being honest. It's too early. It's too volatile. It can move on any big moves, any big buys or sells. But it's interesting to look at because it does look like a giant pennant. Where can Asia buy some cheap crypto rigs? I don't know. Like Bitmine? Like what's it? Is it Bitmine? Yeah, Bitmine is the biggest mining equipment company. I'm assuming you could buy that in Asia. I don't know where. Be careful on that sugar. Sugar is the root of all evil. Okay. Okay. I don't need a lesson on the evils of sugar, Sam. Yeah, it's Bitmain, not Bitmine. Bitmain. Wilfredo, the project's been around for about a month now. So about a month. Everyone's saying sugar is evil. I think the key is processed sugar is evil. Normal sugars that exist in fruits and vegetables, I think they're okay. Everything is okay in moderation. But if you go overboard, obviously, then that's when things are not okay. Dan. Dan, stop it. Stop asking that. All right, let's do some giveaways. Where's the giveaway form? So a lot of you guys have been filling this out. I even put in a huge celebration giveaway if we do achieve a new all-time high for Clash this week. I'll be giving out 5 SOL to one loyal Clash holder, right? We'll celebrate when that day comes. But that's for this week. And we still got 5 days left. So that could come anytime. But for the rest of you guys, you know what? I like to reward loyalty. A lot of you guys, the responses have gone up to 2134. right? So basically, hey, if you support the project, you should go into Discord, learn as much as you can, join the tournaments, right? And if you want to be rewarded, just put your wallet down and you can win some free SOL like I'm giving out today. I've been giving this out for like a week now. I've given out probably, I don't know, at least like 50 SOL by now. Yesterday, I had to do this in stages, so I'm going to do this again in stages. I'm going to try to do like 800 at a time. If we can just clear this out here. It won't let me clear it out. All right, I'm going to give away 0.3 SOL to 3 people. Now we'll do 0.5. 0.5. It's a little more enticing. Or rewarding, I should say. So let's do the first one. You gotta hold a minimum requirement, which is, I think I lowered to 1,000. 1,000 clash. All right, let's see. Let's see if this person has some SOL. I mean clash. This guy has nothing. Nothing. So he gets nothing. I don't. Okay, we get to go again. Any clash? No. Again. So, you know, don't put your address in here if you're not going to participate. It's just wasting time. Sometimes we go through this really quickly. Everyone has it. Sometimes it's like so difficult. People are just throwing random address in here thinking that I'm not going to check. Yeah, here we go. Now we got a true winner here. 13.5K of clash. Congrats. So that's the first winner. Look at all the SOL. This crazy amount that I've given out. All right. So that's the first part of the list. Let's do 801 to like 1600. I'm working on an update so I don't have to do this. I know this is wasting a lot of time. I'm building it out into my webpage so that it'll automatically select, auto check, and it makes this process a whole lot easier. How do you participate or put your address? This form is in the description, the giveaway form. Just go ahead and fill it out. And also, it's in the Discord under our channel links. And this list stays up forever. See, this is the second time. 22,000 clash, awesome. He's a winner, he or she. All right. And then let's do one more. This list is forever, so you could win multiple times. You'll be eligible for the giveaway or basically forever. I don't know why this address is here. People are putting the wrong address in. All right, last winner. It's okay, dude. 99% dudes in here. I thought so too in Discord, and then of course you have women chime in. $7.4. There we go. Now we have. All right. So congrats to these 3 wallets. They will win 0.5 Sol each. And of course, I've been doing this, and I'll continue to do this, rewarding those that are part of the project, right? So if you want to fill it out, the form is in the description. Also Discord, also on socials too. It's posted in socials all the time, right? And again, if we can break into new high by the end of this week, we'll celebrate with one person winning 5 Sol, which is a lot. That's like $1,200, $1,300. That's gonna be a lot. All right, I think today is turning out to be not a good day. Yeah, Bitcoin's coming down slightly today. Looks like we have a market sell-off. It's okay. It's okay. Sick of hearing the dips. Let's let it rip now. Well, you know, if retail wasn't so depressed about every single little dip, we probably would have a bigger climb by now. The thing is, there's too many people that are too afraid. So every time there's a little dip, you just see a whole bunch of people sell off. The same to a clash too. Every little dip, people just like sell off and they just like get so like scared. It's a different vibe versus previous cycles. So it's like, you know, previous cycles, we didn't have institutions leading the way. In previous cycles, we had just retail leading the way and whales leading the way. Now it's like we're waiting for the institutions to like lead the way, almost like we're begging them to save us. And that's not how it should be. But it just seems like there's a weird vibe going on right now. How like we're all looking for like these big boys like Sailor and stuff to keep buying, and which we love. But, you know, Bitcoin was created for the people, by the people. So we should all do our part. Stay strong, stay focused, don't panic, and continue DCA. And it says how to weather a bear market per usual cycle. Just hold on. Do you see a 50% dip? It's really tough. Until we get to December, we really don't know. Are we going to have that top in December, or are we going to continue into 2026? So it's really hard to say. But I would say if you're worried and we're already above 200,000 in December, then yeah, take some profits off. Right, off the table. But, you know, if we're continuing forward, I think there's a real chance that we can continue into 2026 and just keep on going and not see these big 80% dumps that we have seen in previous cycles. But again, I guess, you know, time will tell. We got three months left. Let's see what happens. All right, guys, that is it. Stay strong, my friends. The breakout is coming. Don't let one day throw you off. Don't be so depressed. It seems like every time we have a little dip, people just go nuts and think like the world is ending. It is not. We're at 123 when a week ago we were hovering in 109 territory, in case you guys forgot. All right? And Clash is also here too. So that should cheer you up. All right, guys, smash a like, subscribe to the channel. Hopefully I see more of you guys join our Discord. Yesterday it was popping. We had another like 200-300 people join Discord. Everyone should join Discord and just chat about whatever, okay? You have the general chat, just talking about things. You got technical analysis, which is all about trading. You have Bitcoin only chat. You have meme chat, card chat. And, of course, you got Clash Royale chat. You got everything in here. Free. It's all free. just join. The only thing I would say is, people that are new to Discord, when you join, you get bombarded with a lot of fake impersonators that's like, oh, you know, I want to talk to you, and they impersonate me or Josh or Tyler or whatever. Just ignore the direct messages. And we can't control it because those impersonators are not even in the server. So just know that no one will ever DM you. Just stick with the regular chat. And then people are the most helpful people and enthusiastic people that you ever meet. All right? Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.